The rent keeps going up and up every single year. And for the amount I'm paying every month, I could afford the mortgage payment on a much nicer home. Am I just wasting my money every month by renting rather than buying a home and paying my own mortgage? If you're a renter, chances are these thoughts have crossed your mind. Today, I'm going to examine whether or not you're wasting money by renting a home to help you make your next housing decision. Hello and welcome to Practical Personal Finance, where you get the information you need to understand and succeed with money. I'm Andrew Shear, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to explain why renting is not necessarily a waste of money and why it may be the best option for you and your unique situation. Make sure you give this video a blue thumbs up, and while you're at it, hit that red subscribe button. You're about to learn something new about money. When I think of buying a home, I think of settling down for a long period of time. Conversely, when I think of renting, I think of moving more frequently, every couple of years. The flexibility to move frequently and on short notice is perhaps the biggest advantage of being a renter. If you own your home and need to move for a new job or because your family is growing, it's not such an easy process. You'll need to list your home for sale and negotiate with potential buyers while searching for a new home for yourself. It could take months or even a year to get a deal done, and you might not have that kind of time. As a renter, that process is a lot easier. You just need to send an email to your landlord, letting them know you'll be leaving when your lease is up. Then go find another rental home in your desired location and price range and sign a new lease. When I moved up the East Coast from Florida to Virginia, I got into town on a Wednesday, looked at some properties on a Thursday, signed a lease on Friday, and moved in on Saturday. That's the speed at which renting happens. The financial aspects of renting also play a crucial role in your flexibility to move frequently. When you're buying a home, there are additional costs you'll need to pay above and beyond the purchase price of the home. I'm talking about loan origination fees, appraisals, inspections, title insurance, and attorney's fees. The sum of these fees are your closing costs when purchasing a home, and they might end up being $5,000 or $10,000 when everything's said and done. Over time, you can expect the value of your home to increase so that when you sell, you'll eventually recoup those closing costs. But if you sell too soon after buying and the value of your home is still roughly the same, you might actually end up losing money on the sale. With renting, there are no closing costs to worry about. Aside from an application fee up front to cover the cost of a background check, there aren't any professional services involved. Therefore, the cost of hopping between rental properties is very minimal. Next, let's talk about what happens when stuff breaks. Because we all know Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. Imagine if your roof sprung a leak, or your washer dryer quit on you, or your air conditioner kicked the bucket during the hottest month of the year. In 10 years of renting, I've had all three of those things happen to me. And trust me, none of them were fun. But never have I been responsible for paying for any of the repairs. All I had to do was give my landlord a call, explain what the problem was, and wait a day or two for the repairman to come and fix it. Until this past year, I had a lot of debt and no emergency fund. Any one of those repairs would have put me even deeper in the hole because it would have been paid for with money I didn't have. And for that reason, I'd say it's a blessing that I was a renter and not an owner. Last but not least, let's talk about some of the other costs associated with owning a home that we sometimes forget about. Regardless of what your situation is, you'll be paying for homeowners insurance and property taxes. And depending on the value of your home and where it's located, those two could easily cost you $300, $500, or even $1,000 per month. If the property you own is in an area governed by a homeowners association, you can expect to pay HOA dues every month as well. And if your down payment on a home is less than 20%, you'll need to pay for private mortgage insurance, or PMI. These are all costs you need to account for before the low monthly mortgage payment you've been eyeballing. Speaking of that mortgage payment, this video would not be complete without talking about the concept of amortization. Amortization is what makes your mortgage payment the exact same amount every single month, as long as you've got a fixed interest rate. Here's how it works. At the beginning of your mortgage term, you've got a big loan, so most of your monthly payment will go toward paying the interest that accrued on your mortgage in the past month. Only a small portion will go toward the principal, or the amount on the loan. As you chip away at the principal little by little every month, the amount of interest that accrues becomes less. Because of that, the percentage of your monthly payment that goes to pay the principal becomes greater and greater. So even though you're making these big monthly mortgage payments in the beginning, most of it is going to the bank anyway, as you slowly build up equity. If you'd like to learn more, I made a great video about how interest is calculated on a loan, and I'll leave a link down below. As you can see, there are a lot of positives for renting, and it's not always a waste of money. If you need that flexibility to move on short notice, you're in debt and haven't saved an emergency fund yet, or you're not ready to settle down in one place long enough for the equity in your home to build up, renting is probably your best choice. On the other hand, if you're planning to live in one place for at least 4 or 5 years, you're debt-free, you've got an emergency fund saved, and you have a solid down payment, then you should be looking at buying a home. Because at that point, you're missing out on a chance to build some great equity and increase your net worth. Are you a renter who's planning to buy your first home soon? Let me know in the comments. If so, you might enjoy my video on the topic of how much you can afford. Click right here to watch. And if you're ready to elevate your personal finance game to the next level, click right here to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Andrew Scheer, and I'll see you next time.